And like one day, my friend who has the business across the street is going to see Waxy on my street. And that's going to be incredible IRL.
Oh,
I
so
won't
that's
film it
exclusive, guys.
because I want to be in KCIP. But
That's an
like, oh my
exclusive,
God,
guys. So Waxy
it's just
is
going to
still
naturally
there's
happen.
still a bounty on Waxia's head. You guys just heard it first.
Yeah.
Everyone knows your story, right? Everyone knows you. Did people treat you differently?
No, no, where I live, nobody knows me as Jason Itzler, the king of all pimps. Like,
Oh,
it's been over 10 years now that I introduce myself to everyone as Jason Lubell. I never talk about my past. I never talk about my history. Um, a handful of people know me as Jason Itzler in New York City. Like, everybody knows me as the guy who stares at the sun. Like sometimes like 5 or 10 people a day come up to me, shake my hand, like, "Oh, you're the sun guy. You're the sun guy." Once every 6 months, someone comes over and going, "You're Jason Itzler." It doesn't last very long. Like 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years of not being so famous, and it all goes away, which is actually a very nice thing, I guess.
a lot of people call you Tate before Tate.
I was a really cool bad boy at one time, like with the money and the fun and the girls and everything. And I think when I got in trouble for the escort agency, that it was the time in New York and America that escorting was the coolest. Like big money escorting was cool. Like at the time, actors, athletes, politicians would brag about they don't want to date a girl who after they break up is going to, spill all the tea on them and talk shit and everything. They want to pay someone and they keep their mouth shut. They have fun and it's over and they got nothing. There was a time in America and New York where people felt that the safest way to have fun with girls was the escorting. Um, I don't think that's the case anymore. I don't think the escorts are trusted the way they used to be. But before everyone was walking around with a camera and everything, escorts used to be trusted.
Did you ever have police, like, literally like undercover, get with your girls?
I had off-duty policemen as like guards at my place, as like kind of protectors all the time, and I did that for two reasons. One, because what's tougher than an off-duty cop, to kind of be your bouncer. But on the other hand, I also wanted to create good friendships to become bulletproof with the off-duty cops. I would hire like high-level policemen that wanted to earn extra money. But I did even better than that because New York Confidential was in Tribeca. It was down by City Hall in New York. And man, like I had this guy Slobodan from Russia who was a KGB agent. I had all the people from City Hall, like all these high level officials used to come in and smoke cigars in New York Confidential. Like I had such powerful people that were my friends that I was giving free girls to and everything. What took me down with New York Confidential was the fucking governor of New York decided to take down my escort agency and like three other really big ones to get worldwide media attention because taking down big escort agencies that charge thousands of dollars is a sexy story. This guy Elliot Spitzer wanted to run for president. So he wanted as much media attention as possible. So he busted my place, and all of my connections, even intelligence agency connections, like spies, people in City Hall at high levels. None of these people could help me because the governor fucked with me. Years ago, I got paid by big film companies several times. I got like money to buy my life rights. Like two times, these guys at Polsky Films, they did some Nick Cage movies and stuff. They signed a contract with me where I'd get $1 million on the green light of a movie about me, and to get me to sign it, they paid me $25,000 as a down payment to sign the contract, and then that contract expired after 2 years, and they gave me 25,000 more for another 2 years. And what I think I learned is that Hollywood could have the biggest script writers, the biggest film production companies. You could have the biggest actors attached. But if the agenda of Hollywood or whoever's really controlling Hollywood doesn't want a movie to be made, or that's not the vibe that they want for the moment, a movie doesn't get made. So, like, they never allowed the movie of my life to be made. And now I'll never be that famous.
And you also met Howard Stern. How is Howard Stern, like in person?
Okay, so I was only supposed to be on the Howard Stern show for like 15 minutes. But We hit it off so beautifully. He kept me on for over 2 hours. Howard Stern in person is way more brilliant than anyone realizes. He's the best talker and interviewer I've ever met in my life. But I never knew that from watching his show or listening to him on the radio. But one on one, when you're like, he's looking you in the eyes and like, wow, is he an incredible interviewer? He's next level. So, someone that was a really huge Howard Stern fan coached me before I went on the Howard Stern show. And he said, Jason, just listen to one thing. He's like, don't you dare talk over Howard. If you talk over Howard, he'll fucking hate you. He'll get rid of you. He won't like you. He's like, be respectful to Howard and never ever talk over him. So I just had it in my mind, never talk over him. So I was charming and sweet, and I was extra careful not to talk over Howard. And we got along so beautifully. So we went over 2 hours. And then after the weekend, he had me come back for another hour and a half. So I had an unbelievable experience with Howard. Now, when the show was over and I went to shake his hand and everything,
Yeah.
oh my God, that motherfucker's 8 feet
He's tall.
tall,
That's like
and
he's like a
he
giant.
looks like a praying mantis or an insect. He doesn't look human. He's way taller than he says he is. Like he says he's 6'8" or something. He's 8 feet tall, and he looks like a bug. He looks like a huge human bug. He's weird. Super nice, intelligent man, but strange as fuck looking.
Who's your favorite streamer to watch?
Carl. Might that be because I'm such good friends with Carl that I like him
Yeah, I feel
watching
like
him so much?
he's because you see him all the time, dude. That's why.
Yeah. There's something about when someone's your friend, I think it's really interesting to watch them. You know what I mean?
You're not true because I've seen the clip. I've even clipped it myself. You tend
When I
to
say
be
Action
really
Man,
fond. Wait, you tend to be really fond of two people. One is Kimmy, and the second is Hanrich Hannah.
well, Hannah is fucking hysterical. Like she has a really good personality. You know, like you see when she does her clip show, don't you think she's funny? Like, and she's like me. She doesn't shut up. She talk, 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 talk. And she's very unique with her stream of consciousness. I think so. She's like a beautiful girl that isn't all careful to look beautiful in every way. Like she's like loose and funny. Like I think she's one of the funniest people in the community by far. Maybe she's the funniest. She's cool.
I think
Hannah's cool,
she's
and she's very
funny.
pretty. I think her hair's real, and God, she has gorgeous hair. Like she's a very pretty, cool girl. Like I always tell people, if there was one person I wanted to be my girlfriend in the community, that's who I would pick. Like, do I think she likes me? Probably not. And I don't really, I never met her in person or anything, but just from like watching everybody, I think she's the hottest, the funniest, the coolest. Like, I think Sam fucked up, but no doubt in my mind, Sam Pepper will never do better. We'll never even do close. He had an amazing girl that had his back. He's an idiot.
My honest opinion, guys, is I don't know. Oh, we're front page? No way. Thank you, Kickstaff. Thank
Yeah.
you, Kickstaff. We are joining Kickstaff with Mr. Based. And if you guys don't know Kickstaff, Mr. Based is waiting for his ban to be taken away because he was doing some good content in New York.
Yeah, I have the 15th on the 15th at 1 a.m. my band is over. So in the afternoon of the 15th I'll go live again. Oh, and this is what I wanted to tell you. I want to be in that KCIP program bad. I love streaming passionately, and I want to do it for like a relatively long time.
So Nana Pups is one of my friends, right? I want to know, how did you
Yeah.
meet Nana Pups? How did that like collaboration even spawn?
Well, first of all, shout out Nana Pip. She's one of the nicest people in the community. She's awesome. She's such a good friend to everyone that accepts her friendship. She's a great woman. Um I told the story about how I kind of bullied Sonic into teaching me how to stream. And 2 days later, a bunch of streamers that I never heard of wanted to meet me. So some guy named Todd that was on like Elisa Jordana's show came over with Nana Pips and maybe someone else. I can't remember. So Sonic had left me high and dry. I didn't know how to turn on TTS. I didn't know how to use anything. So Nana helped me, wrote down all the how to do everything, like step one, step two, step three. and I was very stressed out. So we met on like my third day of streaming, but we didn't get to be friends or know each other or anything like that. And then about a month ago, Nana was in New York City, and we got together and we really got to know each other, and we spent like a few days streaming together, and we had such a good time. It stopped for almost 6 months, and Nana Pips talked me into streaming again. She talked me into going for the verification and the KCIP program. And because I really told her, I said, Nana, bottom line is the reason I can't be a streamer, even if it's not a loser thing to be a streamer, um, is I can't be a beggar, and I can't stand it when I ask for support from the chat and they call me a beggar. I'm like, she's like, no, Mr. Bass, get this KCIP and you never have to be a beggar. And she said she would hold my hand through the process and everything, and she got me all excited about streaming again. So the reason that I started streaming again is 100% because of Nana Pips.
Listen, I'm the one, like, people know, like, my background, which is literally the first month I started streaming, people donated money and I bought a laptop. I'm actually talking to you right now with like my rig of this character even moving is from that, right? Step two is Eddie gave me money and then I bought like a mic headset and things like this. So it's like people can turn around and fling the same thing at me. You get me? But the thing is, I just think like there's always gonna be people in the comment section that's gonna give you shit. And like you're a pretty big streamer. If you guys don't know, like he was averaging at one point, I saw 1.5, 1.8K and your chat was flying, so like don't think like it's all hate. There was some positivity in your chat too. I used to watch your streams. I'm telling you that.
I think that the chat is full of amazing people that appreciate me, love me, etc. And I'm well aware that more than 50% of the time on any streamer's channel, the chat is where the action is. I I I love watching great streams probably more than I like being in a great stream of my own. Like I really love smoking pot, kicking back, and like when there's action and I could flip between a few different streamers that have shit going on. I love that.
And we saw Waxiest running for his life when there were two guys running after him and he maced these guys that were chasing him. And the story behind it was that people were saying these are Mr. Based goons. Can you give a comment on this?
Okay, so Mr. Based, I'll talk about myself in the third person for a moment, does not have goons. Ha! Um, what happened was I was out with Frank Sinatra. I think I was at the supermarket. And like I said, I love live streaming more than anything, being a viewer, like most of you guys. And I was watching a bunch of different streams. And I got pressed really hard and disgustingly a few days before by Waxiest. So I was watching Waxiest. And also, Waxiest is a pretty entertaining, crazy streamer. So I'm watching him, and he's like stalking my house, threatening me. Fine, I don't care. Then he climbs up my stoop and is in my window, and my beautiful little cat Bambi is staring at him, and he's screaming at my cat. He's yelling at me. He's calling me a murderer, this and that. And he's like, fucking cat, I should set this cat free, shouldn't be living with such a bad person and everything. So as soon as he starts picking on my cat and screaming at my cat, and I love animals more than people, I started getting fucking mad. So I called up my friend that owns the building directly across the street from me, and he owns a business there. And I said to him, I said, bro, I'm sending you a link right now. It's a live stream because my buddy used to watch my live stream. I was in retirement at the time now. So, or he used to watch before I retired. So my friend that owns the building across the street from me, a multimillionaire guy. Oh, and also my friend has a part-time thing in Brooklyn where he lives, um, where he teaches mixed martial arts to like teenagers and young adults for like the last decade. So my friend is like a mixed martial arts, real like tough guy. He rides a motorcycle. He's very tough. He's very cool, and he owns the building across the street from me. So I call him up. I send him a link to the live stream, and I said, I don't want to say his name out loud. I said, bro, I go, look what this motherfucker's doing to my cat. can you please go talk to him the way that you talk to people and ask him to please walk away from my house?" And he goes, "Of course." So I'm watching on live stream and I see everything you guys saw. And they ask him to leave. And I thought, oh, great. They got him away from my window. But then, my fucking friend is like a little bit of a psycho. It wasn't enough that he got Waxy to walk away. He didn't like that Waxy was like half a block away, like walking back and forth, like staring at the street. So they went after Waxy. And as everyone saw, Waxy said, "Back up, back up, back up." And then he maced my friend. And my friend, I said, owns a business across the street. He's got another tough biker guy that he rides bikes with and everything and does mixed martial arts with, that he came over to the window. Those were the quote unquote goons. They're just my friends. And so they went after Wax, and Wax is going to squirt them with the pepper spray. And they're very tough dudes. Like, they just try to walk through the pepper spray like you guys saw. And they actually, one of them got their hands on Wax and threw him down. And then the pepper spray sunk in on him. But they actually had their hands on Waxy. And it could have been ugly because I think they would have murdered him. But so that's the story with that. And like one day, my friend who has the business across the street is going to see Waxy on my street. And that's going to be incredible IRL.
Oh,
I
so
won't
that's
film it
exclusive, guys.
because I want to be in KCIP. But
That's an
like, oh my
exclusive,
God,
guys. So Waxy
it's just
is
going to
still
naturally
there's still
happen.
a bounty on Waxy's head. You guys just heard it first.
Yeah. You could easily walk Waxy right into my friend's business and he'll lock the door and they could have a mixed martial arts by themselves. You know, Waxy will agree to it. Waxy's tough. My friend will take him apart piece by piece.
I watched you take a banana and throw it out your window at one Sonic's head. And then I saw you take popcorn and dump all the popcorn on Sonic. What is that about? Because, like, in those clips, you look kind of angry, but then sometimes you look happy and smiley with Sonic. What is happening there?
Okay, so I like Sonic. I genuinely like him. Like, I watched a lot of his videos over the past year of his live streams and stuff. And like, I know he breaks bridges with everyone. I know he gets drunk and gets vicious on everyone. Like, I think as a human, he's a real piece of shit. But I enjoy watching him. I find all these shenanigans and stupid shit he gets into, I find it very entertaining and interesting. And like, I hear how he talks about me. The fucking kid hates my guts. Like, like they say when people are drunk, the truth comes out. So like it was for a long time, he would say to my face, he likes me and this and that. And every time I see him get drunk, I hear the truth about how he feels about me. And he viciously hates me, makes up stories about me, tries to get people to hate me. Like he's really nasty to me, but I enjoy watching him. Um, so whenever I was around, I always forgive him because I feel like he's content. And like, I lobbed the banana at his head because I knew like maybe he'll call the cops on me, and he did. Um, I know that people enjoy watching me and Sonic interact, and when the chat's happy, it makes me happy. Bro, he's walking around with like an army. Like the ogre twins are pretty tough, and his bodyguard is super tough. Like his bodyguard's no joke. That's a beast. Does he
Right.
attract so much shit that he needs so much protection?
Yes, of course. Dude,
Oh,
Action
wow.
Man is a shit talker. He's a shit talker. Literally, he'll stand and shout at a policeman until the policeman comes near him. He's number one when it comes to like shit talking. People believe
Yeah.
that you sometimes are like a puppeteer, like getting the streamers
During the pot.
together. Yeah,
During the
now do
pot.
you agree with these
Because I'm a
people?
viewer. Because I'm a viewer. I know what everyone wants to see. I help it happen. Fireball. Like I was giving him full glasses of Fireball when he was arguing with Waxy. Like that's the type of stuff I do because everyone wants to see him drunker and crazier, drunker and crazier.
Hey, but wait, were you afraid, like when SJC was throwing down with the? Because SJC literally grabbed a battery pack and was literally hitting this dude in the face.
How disgusting is that? If someone had a soft head and SJC's doing that, they could get to the brain, right? You know what I'm saying? Like some people's heads are fucking rocks and some people's heads are mush. XJC could have killed him. He's a little guy, Wax. He's like 140 pounds. He's tough as shit. What did Waxy do? Waxy was talking about whether or not SJC was a pedo. And a lot of us have seen a lot of suspect shit that he did on Monkey and things like that. It's been proven to be the oldest crystals on Earth. So that's the most powerful, and that's my favorite one. But
Wow.
here's a really interesting one. This is a green citrine. I got it from my friend Ram or Ram, and he's Tibetan. He's one of the biggest crystal sellers in the New York area to stores and things like that. So I got a couple of these pieces of green citrine. But what's amazing about this is it's from the top of what's that tallest mountain in the world called?
Everest, right?
Uh, yeah, Mount Everest. Apparently that's in the Himalayas or something.
Okay, the next question would be, how did you meet Carl?
Like when I first started streaming, I'm in New York, and out of everyone people told me I should stream with, it seemed like Carl got the most respect from everybody. Like they were all saying, find Smooth Sanchez, find Smooth Sanchez. And so I was looking for this guy, Smooth Sanchez, and it turned out he like got forced to retire or whatever. So the person that had the most respect in New York was this guy, Smooth Sanchez, but he was retired. And out of not retired streamers, Carl clearly got the most respect. Like he was the person because I kept meeting streamers and being disappointed in them. Like I thought, oh my god, like really like stupid, weird, hard. Like I met this guy Todd, and he's just like from 2 feet away. He's just staring at me for like 1 hour, like this, not talking, like a real weirdo. And this
I've
is the guy
seen
from the
I've
Georgia
seen people like
Police and
this
Jordan.
before.
Yeah, so then I was explained to me that most of the streamers are weird autists and I have to take it easy on them and that's what's going to be around me. And then I met Carl and I really liked him, but like we're streaming and he's saying the most disgusting things to everybody and they're getting so mad and I didn't really understand what content was yet. Carl taught me what content was,
Yeah, shock
you know?
factor. Like he's going shock
Yeah, I
factor
mean,
with
really,
you.
really entertaining the viewers. Like maybe I went to jail, but that doesn't mean I'm not a gentleman and a good person to everybody. So like, I would be interviewing people being charming and nice, and then I'm with Carl, and he's like, "Fuck you, motherfucker! Fuck you!" He's going crazy on people for no reason, out of the blue, and I'm like, "What the fuck's this?" So I fucking hated Carl, and then of course after a little while, I learned what the fuck I'm doing and how this works and what entertainment is, and then I started appreciating how fucking funny Carl is. And so it took a little while for me to get to the point that I understood that Carl was really good at this IRL shit and not the biggest douchebag. But at first, because I didn't know what the fuck, what the community was, what a viewer wants, like what's really funny, like I didn't even become a viewer yet. I thought that Carl was like an evil psychopath. And so like I couldn't hang out with him. Then I saw he's like a genius artist and then I started liking him. And then he kept fucking me over, like trolling me hard, even when we were friends. And so we would like boyfriend girlfriend, makeup breakup, makeup breakup.
Then Lemon has given a better description. Lemon is saying the old biker clubhouse.
The old Hell's Angels clubhouse on Third
Yeah, this is
Street.
what he's talking about. He even says the old
Oh,
angels clubhouse.
how do you know about that? Wow, yeah, like so. I've never been in it. I've never been invited in it, but I did better. In the 1990s, I was friends with some mover shaker people, and one day one of my friends, like a big stockbroker, said to me, "Do you want to meet the head of Hell's Angels, the founder of Hell's Angels?" And I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" He's like, "All right, we're gonna go visit him. He has a place in Trump Tower." I'm like, "Trump Tower, the head of Hell's Angels?" He's like, "Dude, Jason, you don't know how much money this guy's made over the years in royalties and this and that." So we go and visit this guy in a high floor in Trump Tower. His name is Charlie Barger, Barger. I can't believe I remember his last name, in the 1990s. And we go up to his apartment, and he's this kind of little, super tough guy with the hottest blonde girlfriend with a sick body. We hung out for like an hour. We drank with him, and he was showing off the genie bottle from the TV show I Dream of Jeannie. Like he had just been in an auction that day, and there's like apparently two genie bottles in the world that they used on the show, and he got one. So we were checking out the genie bottle, and then like a couple days later, I went to Scores. If anyone in the crowd is old enough to remember Scores, it was the hottest strip club in the world in New York. So I'm at Scores a few days after I'm hanging out with the founder of Hell's Angels, and I'm having fun. I'm drinking. I'm with some friends. I'm talking to all the girls in Scores, and this big, scary dude summons me over. Like some girls are like, "You have to go talk to." I didn't even know the guy's name at the time, so I walk up to this scary guy with like cut off jacket, cut off, big arms, like heavy, like 260, big fucking face like a bull, and he goes, "Who the fuck are you?" I'm like, "You just called me over." I'm like, he goes, "Why you know all the girls here?" And I said, "Well, I'm from Miami. I would used to be from Miami, and there's this Solid Gold Club where half of these girls used to work there. It's like the best strip club in Miami, and I used to go there a lot, and I'm friends with everybody." He's like, "All right," and I said, "Who are you?" And he goes, I'm the head of Hell's Angels." And I said, "No, you're not." And he says, "What the fuck did you just say to me?" I said, "I was just in the head of Hell's Angels home like 3 days ago. It's not you." And he said, "Whose house were you in?" I said, "Charlie." But he goes, "I hate that motherfucker." He goes, "He's not the head of Hell's Angels. I am." I'm like, "Whatever. I'm not, I'm not going to do with that shit. Nice to meet you." And it turns out Chuck Zito was the head of, because then I called up my friend and asked the Barger guy, "What the fuck? Why does this guy say he's the head of Hell's Angels?" Chuck Zito was the head of Hell's Angels New York at the time. And if you guys have heard of Chuck Zito, he's a scary motherfucker. And Charlie Barger was the founder of Hell's Angels Worldwide, and they had some beef going on at the time. Um, yeah.
So it seems like it was really crazy. So you got his respect though, right? At the end of all of that, you got his respect.
Um, well, I had Charlie Barger's respect, the founder guy. I
Mm.
never had Chuck Zito's respect. Like we don't have time for it now, but like two or three times later in life, I bumped into Chuck Zito again, and one of the times he tried to have me killed. Like it was he's a really like I have friends that are like, "Oh, I was with Chuck Zito. You should come hang out with us." I'm like, I'm afraid of that guy. Like every time I'm around Chuck Zito, bad things happen to me. Those black guys usually the people that identify as truly being a pimp, that's a whole different thing. Like I never made anyone do anything. I ran the most elegant, expensive escort agency. I interviewed like 20 to 50 girls that were dying to work for me. I would only pick like one out of that many girls, like I didn't try to talk anyone into doing it. People tried to talk me into hiring them. Like I did it like a Jewish businessman. But then again, also like people say to me, "Did you sleep with the girls?" And I'm like, "I slept with about half of them because I never really asked one of the girls to sleep with me, but they all wanted to sleep with me to manipulate me or to get an edge or to get better appointment, whatever reason, or I was pretty cool at the time. Girls like power and money and shit, and I was throwing it around.
So Quillians asks, Carl does many voices, right? He even mimics like
Yeah.
me. I speak Hindi naturally, so I've got a little Indian tongue, and Carl sometimes does an Indian accent. I'm pretty sure if I interviewed him, he would speak like with Indian accent to me. I'm pretty sure.
Let me tell you something. Let me
Exactly.
tell you something. You're not Pashtun.
So I want to ask you, um, pretty much Hannah finds some of his voices disrespectful. So like, are you on Hannah's side or you're on Carl's side in this point?
Fuck, whatever Hannah says, I'm always on Hannah's side.
Clip this.
Hey, let me ask you clips. Let me ask you a question. Do you think if Hannah was my girlfriend, it would be good content?
I don't really know because
Oh,
this is kind of hard
oh.
for me. You putting me in a situation, yeah. Okay, because
Of course it
uh,
would be good content. It would be crazy. She never
I
shuts up. I never shut up. Chat would destroy our relationship. It would be fucking awesome.
I think that chat would go after the age gap. I'm being honest with you. The chat would literally go after age gap. You know
Well, how
this.
old is she? How old is she?
I think she's in late. Am I wrong, Chad? She's like late 20s, like 25. I think like 24-ish, 25-ish, somewhere there.
How long was she going out with Sam Pepper for?
I have no idea. 5
6
years?
years.
I have no
Yeah, and
idea.
how old do you think they were when they got together? I heard she's about 30 to 33.
Mm.
But ask
Okay,
your chat, they probably
someone
know.
says in the chat they think he's 28. I remember her saying she was in her 20s. I remember saying this.
She looks 27 to me, but I heard from the chats that she's like young 30s.
Here's my example. Everyone open YouTube and look up Boogie2988. Look up that guy. People try to say that his girlfriend is like 16 and 17.
Yeah, but hold on. I think when a girl is 27 to 33, I don't think people care. I think it's when it's like a little bit younger than that. I could be wrong.
So I have clips of you and Carl getting into it. And the smartphone, something happened to that smartphone. So the question asked
Yeah.
here by Stagnated is, do you regret what happened to Carl's phone?
Okay, so what happened was Carl sent this guy Ron to my window, which was wide open, and the guy Ron starts screaming in my window, son fucker, get out here! I'm gonna kill you!" Da 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 da. And he's screaming like a lunatic. And it didn't even cross my mind that it had anything to do with streaming or IRL. Like I'm staring at the sun for years in Washington Square Park and all around my area. And like a lot of people think I'm batshit crazy or a weirdo. And some people say like he's worshiping the sun like it's the devil or something. And like there could easily be some psycho that wants to kill me for staring at the sun. And that's what I thought the person yelling sun fucker was. And I was like, ah, fuck. I'm like, what am I going to do? If I don't deal with this guy now, I'll be out staring at the sun. This guy's going to crack me in the head when I'm not looking. Like, I got to deal with my problem now. So I wanted to kill this guy. And you guys know I've been to prison 3 times. I can't afford to get in trouble. I won't get out like someone like Waxy does. Like, I'll go in and get stuck. So I wanted to kill this guy, but I can't touch him. Like, so Carl created this situation where like I'm questioning my freedom and I'm raging and I sent out Nana Pips to get rid of the guy and everything. So then Carl comes in like laughing and everything. It's obvious he did it. And I'm so fucking mad at him because he's promised me in the past, like several times our friendship ended for a couple of months because he fucked with my building. Like the last time he went up my building to every floor, banged on every door, told everyone the owner sent him and fuck with him. Then went on the roof and try to talk the guy in the top apartment that he's allowed to go on the roof, that the owner gave him permission, and he's fighting with the guy. So like he fucked with my building and he promised he would never fuck with my building again. And then he's doing this shit to my window. So he comes in the house and I'm a lot tougher than Carl. Like he's taller than me, heavier than me, but I'm a lot stronger than Carl and tougher person. And he comes in, he lies to my face and says he has nothing to do with it. So I grab his shoulders and I start crunching him. And I'm fucking angry at him, but I'm not gonna beat him up on the camera. So I'm like play fighting him really rough. And then I decide I'm gonna scare him. So I do like karate thing and I knock his hat off his head. And I knock his hat off his head, like and I sent it flying into the window really hard. And didn't touch his body, didn't touch him. I sent his hat flying. He flinched. He's got a gimbal that's always dropping his phone. His phone goes straight down on the ground. And then I'm really mad at Carl because he fucked with me with the guy at the window. He's not admitting he did it. So I decide in my head, all right, motherfucker, I'm going to turn your phone off so all your thousands of people will jump to me as punishment. So his phone's on the ground and Carl goes to grab his phone. And I go, no way. I'm turning your stream off. And I push his phone away. And then with my foot, I keep sliding it away from him because we're like wrestling. He's trying to get his phone and I'm trying to keep him away from it. So when I'm pushing his phone with my foot, it's making a very loud sound on his end. His thing is filming the ground. And it sounds like the phone's being stomped on. But it was being pushed like this and Nana Pips has a view of it. My camera has a view of it. No one stomped on his phone. I pushed it out of the way, then I grabbed it, and then right in front of him, I hit the off button end, because Ice Poseidon had raided him 5 minutes earlier, and he lied to me
No.
about putting that person in my window, and I just took all the people. And then Carl starts crying about, look, Mr. Bass, look what you did to my phone. It has a bullet hole in the middle, like a hole right through the glass, clean, tiny, into the middle of his phone, fucking with the digitizer or some shit. And I go, bro, it fell 3 feet. Nothing. What's going to do that? I'm like, this must have happened to your phone earlier in the day and you're blaming it on me. But so it has a little hole in the middle. So I said to him, all right, bro, it wasn't on purpose. You fucked with me really bad. You created all this drama. In the words of EBZ said to Carl recently, all right, you created all this drama. You pay the price of whatever it costs. You had your funny moment. You got your clip. Pay for it. So Carl got me all fucking crazy. Then he comes in here, lies to my face that he didn't do it. And his phone falls. I didn't knock his phone. I knocked his hat. He shifted. It fell on the floor. Then I pushed it away with my foot so that he couldn't keep streaming. I meant to turn his stream off. And then he blamed me that I broke his phone and this and that. And he doesn't want me to split it. He wants me to pay the whole thing. And he claims that he lost his pen that comes with his Samsung. So he wants the pen also, a grand total $350. So he sticks to his story that he's so mad at me unless I pay all the money. If he doesn't want to split it with me, this or that. So I'm not a stupid person. I said to him, Carl, I've known you for a long time now. We spent a lot of time together. I love streaming. I want to keep streaming. I'm going to pay you all the money because you've been so good for my life in streaming, knowing you, that I'm paying for that. You can call it that it's for the phone, but I'm giving you
Okay,
all the
so you
money because
guys
in
made
balance,
peace, is what
I
you're saying to me.
appreciate our relationship. But I didn't break his phone.
What I learned
Yeah, we
about
made peace. We're awesome.
In IRL, things always break
I've
out
already,
soon.
I've already, I've already given him almost half the money for his phone in cash, and the only reason I'm stringing it out a little bit is he scared me like that phone was more important than our relationship or whatever. I just want to make sure that
Yeah.
he stays in my life if I pay him. At this point, of course, I know he will, but I was afraid like he wanted to like hustle me for that money, and then he'd never talk to me again.
So what's your thoughts on Moxy?
Okay, so I heard Moxie say recently that she hasn't had sex in a year, right? And ever since I met Moxie, I've been telling people she's not a sexy person. She's not a sexual person. She's not sleeping with anybody. Like this girl is like asexual. She's not into sex. She's like no one's having sex with Moxie. Moxie is not into sex. She's not a sexual person at all. So like when I met her, before I met her, when I saw her with Tawn, she looked like this hot little blow up doll came to life, but kind of cute. And I thought she was hot just seeing her videos. When I met her in person, I didn't think she was quite as good looking at all. And then, like, it was raining out. I gave her my jacket to wear. And then I was freezing after like 10 minutes. And I said to her, can I get my jacket back? I'm cold. She's like, I don't care. She's like not a nice person. And then I saw she's not a sexual person. She's not that good looking. She's not nice. And Carl really wanted a banger. And I was like, it's all you, baby. And like Carl
Okay,
tried
but
for
wait,
days,
I'll
simping for
pause you
her.
right
And
there though, because you
yeah.
were involved in a kind of drama where Corn side was saying, I didn't touch this girl, and then there was a long stream where Moxie sat with you. And then after this, Moxie went on live stream. I was like, Torn did this to me. Torn did that to me.
No, no, she said that
Yeah.
with me.
I'm talking about this. I'm
Oh,
saying,
okay. So
yeah,
she's next to me in my house.
yeah.
We're not talking about anything that has anything to do with that. You know what I mean? And she blurts out that like Tawn like tried to pull her panties off and forced himself on her, and she kept saying, she starts crying like a waterfall. Like we weren't talking about things like that. Like it came out of nowhere. I didn't even know she was being serious at first. Like she just decided like in my house to reveal that to everybody. Nobody asked her. And then Sam Pepper gets involved, Ice Poseidon gets involved, like everyone got involved. Like it was the hottest thing of the week for some reason. It was probably a slow week,
Yeah,
you
it
know?
was. It was. Because I know I clipped most of it. So, but people were coming out and saying that Mr. Based is coaching her. Like, what would your response be to that?
Um, I was like shocked when she brought it up. I had watched everything where Tawn had met her. I watched his live stream. I watched when she went to the bathroom that he's going, she's a whore. She's a like behind her back. He was being evil, Tawn. And then he killed his stream when he got her back home, and it looked like he was up to no good. Like like from how I saw Tawn was acting that day, I watched it all live for hours. It was at one of those conventions in Vegas. Like I saw the whole backstory. I believed everything she said, you know? When a streamer turns off their stream and they have the best numbers they've ever had before that just to fucking fuck with the girl, like it was obvious that he was up to no good. And so when she pointed, I'm an attorney by education and everything. I graduated law school. So I asked her questions because she said he was pulling her panties. I said, how many times? And she said 5. And I said, were you making out with him? Were you kissing him before this? She's like, I never kissed him once. So I'm in my head, I'm thinking a guy that grabs a girl's panties 5 times and they never even kissed or anything, that's pretty bad. So I was just kind of like, because she did it in front of me, I was just saying what I felt about it, you know?
I get you. I get you. Because yeah, that
Oh, and
story was crazy.
I also, she hung out with Zerka. She hung out with Heel Mike. She hung out with Carl. She had hung out with me, Moxy. She hung out with like several people that are like Zerka kind of studly type of people, and none of them did she have a problem with, except for the weird little ugly guy that's awkward with chicks. It just all came together that it looked really nasty, you know?
Also, she had multiple situations of like false allegations. So it's like this is what's fumed the drama too, you know?
Well, to be quite honest with you, because I think like I'm aware of everything about that story, I think the only false accusation was Tawn. I don't think. Can you name another streamer that she said
There was
tried to
a
rape her?
podcast, there's a podcast, you guys know better than me. There's a podcast, all I know is that when it comes to Moxie, almost every guy that she's hung out and streamed with, she's made a claim against them after leaving them. You notice
Well,
this
what she
pattern?
does is this: she shit talks anyone that's nice to her. Like no good deed goes unpunished. Like anyone that has hosted her or paid for her or helped her in any way, she viciously attacks. Like she viciously attacks me. She slept over my house. I was with her for that whole Tawn thing. I treated her very nicely and respectfully. She shit talks me like crazy. She shit talks Carl.
Do you ever get scared that, I mean, listen, you've also got lights all around you and candles all around you. Do you ever get scared that it
Yeah.
could be flammable? Like it could start a fire?
None of the crystals are flammable. I don't light that many candles, to be honest with you, because of my cat and everything like that. Like, if I light a candle, it's typically like something my cat can't get to.
I guess it's
Like,
correct.
so I have a lot of candles that like are here for show, like, but I don't light them. What do we got there? Oh, Aerosmith again. Oh, Aerosmith pump, but a fucked up cover. Everything's Aerosmith. Okay. That's just some random stuff.
Dang, she's got so many records of just
6,500 of these.
Aerosmith.
We're all under a microscope. People are watching everything we do, and they're so judgmental. And I think they might not admit it or not, but I think almost every viewer really cares about a person's integrity, if they're a good person, a nice person. And you're so clearly a very nice person that enjoys this shit. And that's the thing with you that makes it all click. And certainly for me, like never stop being the nice person that you are. You know,
Thanks,
you're
man.
super fun and nice.
I
It can be
really
done.
hope we can all stay on good terms because I really like staying on good terms with most streamers. And I must say, whenever you see my videos, always know that like it's jokes. It's never something that's like harmful or something like this. Some streamers, if I put them in the clip, right, they'll be like, "You showed me angry? How dare you?" So I was like, "Dude, it's a joke." Like, I
Ah,
always want to see our community grow, you know, like really, realistically.
well, my personality, I would rather be in one of your videos with anything that I did that week than not be in it at all. Oh my God. The worst is not to be in it at all, you know?
Well, I mean, only my mods
There's no
know.
bad clip.
There's only one
There's
streamer
no
that
bad clip.
there's only one streamer that that has earned that accolade. But yeah. But okay, Mr. Bass, I want to say thank you so much for joining us today. You came through early in the morning. We spoke almost like 3 hours. Like that went by really fast. And I know for Clippers, this is gonna be awesome because there's so
This
much of
has been
stuff.
3 hours? Holy
Yeah, it's
shit! I
somewhere
didn't
around
know
three
it was
hours. Like
three
this is literally
hours.
the longest interview I've ever
Oh
done,
god.
literally.
I
But
felt like it was an hour, hour and a half. I felt
uh,
like it flew by.
but I want to say that I really liked it because you did give us a lot of insight that we can use. So yeah, I really appreciate you, Mr. Based. Okay, and I'll keep in contact with you. Maybe you can come on again in the future. Like I like to also liaise with streamers. Like if there's big events that take place near you and you want to come on and talk about it, this is the place where you can do it also.
Oh, I would love that. It would be my pleasure.